Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous day-to-day grind. And kind of a mini series of build combat ranking. Currently a novice and I'd like to get to competent, so I'm going to be working on that. And we're going to surface scan. I bought some system information, but it says I haven't scanned the surface, so we'll see about doing that. And then we'll land on it and see if we can find some skimmers and stingers to collect bounties on and work on our combat ranking. It says 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Sun's over top. Says left. Okay. That dark blue says we can land on it. Says left. It's pristine reserves.
Orbital flight engaged.
That's a big crater. Says night. Well, I was hoping there'd be some sunshine. like the sun's over on that other side. Yeah, it looks like the sun's over here. I'd rather have sunshine.
Orbital flight engaged.
Is this night? Is this landing?
Landing gear deployed.
Is this alternate? Is this down? Is this lights? Is this lights?
No gravity warning.
Is this ship?
Ship dismissed.
Is this lights? And they're off. See what we can find. See if we can improve our combat ranking. See if we can get a stronger signal. That's a pretty strong signal if we can keep it. Keep losing our manufactured materials, basically. Kind of want to stay on the edge of this rough stuff. because I always preach cover and verify status. So that's what we need to do. We need cover before we can shoot them, and we need to check their status before we can shoot them. So both of those things we verify: status and cover. And I want to work on getting my combat rating to competent. Not as worried about materials right now. We probably have enough materials. So if you would, while we're traveling, look in that lower right hand corner of the video and select the subscribe button, because that's what I need more than anything else is subscriptions. Yeah, my trade rank is elite and my explorer rank is elite, but my combat is novice. So that's what we're going to work on. We're going to see if we can get our combat rank up. And so far, skimmers and stingers are what I've seen is probably the easiest of the combat. Now I did see something down here. I don't see any kind of trespass zone. We see wreckage. It says there's still something up this way. We watch our sensor for anything, ships or just whatever. See what it says. They're illegal salvage. That means you can't touch them. You can't touch this. I think there was a song like that once upon a time. Assist lights. Assist lights. I don't want any confusion of what is what. So no containers. We're looking for wanted skimmers and stingers is what we're looking for. Things that help our combat rating. That doesn't get us in trouble. Takes a minute or two for that sensor to pick up again. I want to stay near the rough stuff. It's really slick. But I don't want it too smooth. I like to be right on the edge of it. Well, it's an outcrop. Until we find something else, why not? it would be good if we would have our
Scoop deployed.
cargo scoop on. Okay. Might wind up having to go back to like Jameson or Dav's Hope. Might be a upper blip over there. Might be getting some blips. And there's some things down here. Don't know if it's a ship or satellite. I think it's a satellite. That would be one skimmer inside of it. If that's what it is, but it could be a ship. I think it's a satellite. But we gotta verify that if there's a skimmer in it, we have to verify that we can shoot it. Don't see a trespass zone though. Well, I don't know if I've ever seen one without a skimmer in it. Is this lights? Is this lights? Just haven't had much luck. Sis, ship.
Ship recalled.
Let's see how far like Jameson or Dav's Hope is.
Handbrake is on.
Those two places have tons of skimmers and stuff. I have to go back and get our FSD booster. Sit down.
Low gravity warning. Handbrake is on.
Sis lights. Sis lights.
message. Cargo scoop deployed.
Sis, ship.
Ship dismissed.
Well, there's a trespass zone, so we'll see. Well, if there's just one, it's okay. Like, just in case. He's wanting.
Target destroyed.
Sis, right. Sis, right.
Warning, you have entered a trespass zone. zone cleared.
Elite Dangerous, the day-to-day grind. Build combat rank experience. Sis right. You see I'm a combat rank of novice at 9%. Well, what we're going to try to do is get it higher than that. I have a ship. My Python has a total of 8, 7 more SRVs. And we're on at Dav's Hope. So we're going to try to find skimmers and stingers to kill that are wanted. Make sure I stipulate that. We have to make sure they're wanted before we can kill them. Or we have the bounty. Or we're wanted if you shoot clean ones. Or you go into an outpost that has defense turrets and you start shooting the defense turrets and they're not wanted, then you become wanted. So we're going to go hunting for skimmers and stingers. Be sure while we're traveling to try to find them that you look to the bottom right and select that subscribe button. And under the video to the left you'll find my YouTube channel, GFM_RDG. Try to find that, where I have over 355 videos at the time of the publishing of this video. And we'll do a little bit of material collecting at the same time. On my YouTube page you will see that there is an About tab that describes the drawings, giveaways, promotions, those kinds of things. The next rank from novice is competent. So I would like to have competent rank during this trip. It might take about 90 kills, but we'll keep searching down all of the upper blips on our sensor and see if we can find them. And some will be ships, and we won't shoot those, or I won't shoot those. You might want to shoot those, but make sure they're wanted too. But they'll be a little more formidable than the skimmer stingers. Skimmer stingers you can handle, especially if you can find some cover, like one of these hills where the most of your SRV's behind the hill and you're looking through the turrets, the camera on the turrets. Shooting from there, they can't get a lock on you. So most of the time they don't even fire back because they can't get a lock. So our glistening target up there. Might just be canisters, but we'll go see. And it might be canisters. Well, we got a trespass zone. So if it's canisters, they're being guarded by something, stingers, skimmers, or something. And as long as we check their status before we start shooting, we'll probably be fine. And it's very hilly around here, so we should have a good shooting location. And this hill might be perfect. See, from here we can either back up, go forward. He's wanted, 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 wanted. Okay, they're all wanted. And I like taking the tallest one first.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Under attack. Target destroyed.
And it knocked our shields down for a few seconds, but that was about it. You can usually handle one. Some debris flying by. I'm probably not going to collect anything but materials.
Warning, you have entered a trespass zone.
Okay. Is this right? Well, we're still at 9. Is this right? Is this left? And we have 4 kills. So it's probably going to take a while. And those, the ranking might take a little bit of time. So let our back sensor repopulate. Now, in this corner area, somewhere out here, is Dav's Hope. Is this left? Sometimes I like to target it just for perspective. It's 4.5 kilometers that way. So and along this mountain range is usually a good spot to find stingers, skimmers going along that mountain range. So we start heading that direction, and then we'll do a circle every once in a while to see if we can spot one. There are some vertical blips that could turn into upper signals. There's some. Now, so far, besides the skimmers and stingers, I haven't had any other things to fire back, like support ships. So it's not saying it won't happen, but out of probably 130 kills since I've been playing around with this, I haven't had any. So there's some glistening up there, so it's probably some more. Is this right? No, we're still at 9. Is this right? Is this right? I just wanted to spend some time just trying to improve our combat rank. As part of the grind. So far we're not getting a trespass zone. And now again, you can collect all the containers you wish. You can collect 2 at a time. And transfer them to your ship. Make sure they're legal salvage though, or that could bite you. Yeah, outside of Sothis, I tried a neighboring planet, and we're not seeing anything besides materials, or not very much. So it's like, well, I know the times I've been at Davs, it's been daylight most of the time, and I've seen quite a few skimmers and stingers. And okay, we have a combat zone, or a trespass zone. So we can come over to the right of it. There's probably going to be plenty of cover areas anyway. But there is a crater next to it. Kind of circle around anyway. Like this hill's pretty big. Wanted, wanted, wanted. We always check their wanted status.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
And I don't think that, yeah, they didn't fire at us. It makes it tough on them if they can't get a lock.
Warning, you have entered a trespass zone.
See what they were guarding. So far it's just been canisters.
Trespass zone cleared.
Is this right? We're up to 10%. So we're going to look for more targets. Is this left? We had 7 kills. I want you to come along with me. But we'll see how long it takes. I mean, it could take a little while. I do want to climb a rank and show you. That's part of the grind, is climbing your rank and trade and explore and combat. This is probably the simplest way with the skimmer stingers. I'm sure NPCs would be the next hardest, the computer generated enemy of humanoid, and of course their rank. And then go into open play with real players, real humans, where your square boxes on your radar are hollow. That's the most difficult. So this is the trader explorer perspective of combat, which I understand is about half the players. Half are combat oriented and half are trader explorer oriented. See, that's the reason I have Dav's Hope shown up on there, because the blips that we get in that direction are probably Dav's Hope. So the terrain is rough because it's on the side of a mountain. At least there should be plenty of cover. And we're always looking for cover, because if you can cover the SRV and shoot and aim and everything from the turrets, makes it very difficult on your enemy. And you want it the easiest for you and the toughest on your adversary. So you have to think a little strategy also. And that's why we get behind a hill where they can't get a lock on our SRV and we can get a lock on them from the turret side perspective. We're still going uphill, but we still have a target up here. And it is going to get tougher to accelerate as we get higher and higher. So since we have reading, it's starting to, it's just the sensor, the range from us to it. But it's starting to fill in. Yeah, I haven't been, I guess, this high, knowing how that worked. But we're getting close to the peaks. And we're getting closer to our target. And our sensor's not doing real well. We do have a trespass zone up here coming up. Should be plenty of cover. And two things we have to look for is cover and status of our adversary. See, here's a good hill too. It gives us distance, and it sure came quite a ways toward us. They're all wanted. Make sure. Wanted, wanted, wanted. I like to verify.
destroyed.
And as you were able to see, they didn't get a shot off. We keep having these times where they don't get a shot off, and it's because of the cover. So, cover is very important.
Warning, you have entered a trespass zone.
Now I am looking for materials if materials show up. Okay. Okay, we'll probably start heading down the mountain. Or downward. That's down into the crater. It's hard to get a perspective. Because I think it gets flat, and then there's the crater. Is this right? We're at 11%. When I started this trip, we were at 8, so we gained 3 percentage points. Is this left? And Dav's Hope is that direction. Now this could take many episodes to build our rank 1 level to competent. Kind of want to stay away from Dav's Hope because I don't want its radar signal to interfere. But there's many parts of the day-to-day grind, and this is one of those parts. Like when you're grinding to scan planets for your Explorer ranking, like with the Road to Riches website. That helps you with that. And when you're grinding at Sothis to Ceos and gaining trade ranking, that's a grind. There's lots of grinds. Now we're grinding to improve our combat ranking. But for a trader explorer, the Skimmer Stinger is probably the simplest way. And I like showing you the simplest first, and you can experiment too with NPCs and with real players if you wish. I don't really wish myself, but not at the moment. It took me a long time to even try the Skimmer Stinger. We have over a half a tank so far. We have 7 more SRVs in the ship. I like having a large number of them when I'm on an expedition of some sort. I do have a video on the Guardian surface site with the Guardian Sentinels. That's a step up. They even shoot missiles. You'll need a point defense on your ship and park your ship next to the surface site. So your ship takes care of the missiles, and you can worry about collecting the materials and fighting off the sentinels and illuminating those pylons so you can collect the the blueprint, we've lost some of our signal. Still a little part of it. I mean, this is definitely not the fastest way to gain combat rank. I'm sure with NPCs, like with those that interdict and doing bounty hunting outside of a station and things, will probably gain you rank faster. They bring more risk, and you have to weigh the risk to reward yourself. I'm not as much of a risk taker as some others. So those of us that are not as big of a risk taker, I'm showing you the easiest ways, the least risk ways to do things. And then you can take more risk if you wish, or you can just do what I'm doing. Either way, but you can gain combat rank this way. And of course, I'm going to look at strategy and defensive posturing and those kinds of things to protect ourselves, because that's what I do. I'm always weighing the risk versus reward and comfort level and those kinds of things. Started doing skimmers and stingers before I did the Guardian Sentinels. Looks like there's some material too.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Looks like a crash site. That little piece of shrapnel just caused all kinds of havoc. Some more over here. Still don't see a trespass zone of any sort. And if you wanted to collect canisters, those are legal salvage of gold. You can collect those. I have 5.8 billion in my credit balance, so credits balance. So I'm not as anxious to haul 2 containers at a time and fill up my 16 to 32 cargo hull on my ship, when it's not going to pay me nearly enough as those 10 to 25 million dollar runs at Sothis to Cios. So that's where I make most of my monies, is that Sothis to Cios cargo missions. You should check those videos out too if you haven't already. Part of the day-to-day grind. It might be just more containers. It could be a ship. We're not getting a trespass zone yet, and we're fixing to come up on whatever it is. Satellite. Oh, there is a trespass zone. Okay, this is a pretty good spot because we're going to get a skimmer coming out of that thing. Got to check his status first, and then you can fire on him.
Target destroyed.
We always check his status first. If he's clean, you can be in big trouble for shooting him.